If you're someone who's got big goals, dreams, and aspirations for your life, you'll probably at some point struggle with imposter syndrome. I know I do. It's pretty normal. See, how it occurs, it's in the process of getting the outcome that you want. That process is 3 stages: being, doing, and having. First, you must be. What are the characteristics, traits, and behaviors and beliefs that you must have to do the things you need to do to get the outcome that you want to have with life? Now, the outcome part is not promised tomorrow. That is in God's due time for you, for the character development you need to have the things that God has called you to have. But what tends to happen with people who struggle with imposter syndrome is they know that they need to be a certain person to do the things they need to do to get the life that they want. But because the outcome isn't need to justify who they are being, they self-sabotage the process of being, doing, therefore having. See, the joy and the fulfillment and the rest and the peace comes from the being and doing, not the having. Let me explain. If God gave you everything, every desire that you ever want in this whole entire world without being and doing the things you need to do to have that, it would crush you. Just like the people who win lotto tomorrow. They get all this immense amount of wealth, but they haven't built the character to sustain the blessing, and the blessing quickly switches over to a curse. And they end up being a lot of times worse off than they were prior to winning all that money. Don't be that guy and don't be that girl. If you understand the process, you're not so fixated on the outcome, but rather you enjoy being the person you need to be, to do the things you need to do, to have the life you want to have. In other words, if you're a musician and an artist, you're not fixated on whether you perform to 100,000 people or to one person. You love creating music. You love performing music. It's a part of your identity. It brings you joy. It brings you fulfillment. And therefore, you're not destroyed if you don't perform to 100,000 people. It's all the same to you because you love doing it. You love being that person. That's where the unnecessary stress and burden gets alleviated, lifted off, and you're now in the freedom to create, not in the obligation to fulfill an outcome. So in summary, if you're being authentically you, you're being in the truth of who you are, who God created you to be, you are in the values, traits, behaviors, and characteristics of the person that you know you ought to be to do the things that you want to do to get the outcome you want out of life, you're not going to be deterred when or how that outcome happens. Because you're at peace with who you are and what you must do. And please, for the love of God, don't rob the world of who you are and what you have to give. The world's a lot better place that you're in it.